This episode was brought to you by Pentester Academy, the leader in online cybersecurity education. Join over 10,000 professionals from 90 countries to learn security online. Also brought to you by Hacker Arsenal, artillery for cyber warriors. Visit us on hackerarsenal.com to check out our latest attack defense gadgets. I'm Marley Oxenholm from Pentester Academy TV, and welcome to our show, Access Point, where we spotlight cybersecurity companies and give an inside look at the people and technology behind the latest advancements in the industry. Today, I will be speaking with the company Imperva. I'm sitting down right now with Robert Hamilton, who is Director of Product Marketing at the company. Thank you for joining me today.
Good to be here.
Thank you so much. You ready to get started?
Yep.
All right, first question then. What would be the elevator pitch for Imperva?
Well, Imperva is in the business of protecting applications and data, and we have a number of solutions that can be deployed on premises, in the public cloud, and we even have our own cloud service that we can offer. And one of the things I'm here today to talk about is how we can help organizations protect themselves against denial of service or DDoS attacks.
Got it. Okay. And now, what is the impact of a DDoS attack? What do people need to be concerned about?
Well, DDoS attacks are all about downtime. And so if you have a significant presence on the web or derive any amount of your revenue from your websites, you need to be concerned about DDoS attacks, because a DDoS attack can bring you down very quickly, and it can be a slow process to come back up. Mm-hmm. And during that time, your website or your entire infrastructure is often completely unavailable. So, like they say, time is money. When your website is down, particularly if you're an e-commerce website, you're going to be losing.
Okay. And now, why do organizations get DDoSed or attacked so much?
Well, DDoS attacks generally follow the money. And there's a number of reasons that sites get attacked.
Okay.
Key among them is extortion. People will threaten to bring your website down unless you pay them off ahead of time.
Makes sense.
We also see a continuation of nuisance attacks, where people will gather up the resources to attack small websites or their friends' websites just because they can.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mean. Okay.
It is, but it's kind of a fact of life out on the internet.
Yeah. Okay. And now, who would you say are the attackers these days mostly?
Okay, there's really two types of attackers.
Okay.
There's attackers that, like I said, do it because they can. They want to be pests. It's like writing graffiti on a wall or something.
All right.
And you can go and you can buy services, the booter and stressor services that you can direct towards your favorite website that you love to hate. Now, that's one type. The other type is the professional DDoS attacker, who doesn't rely on the booter and stressor services, but does what we call creating their own botnets, and they're bot herders. And these folks can bring resources to bear, a lot of resources, a lot of attack resources, to direct at particular websites to bring them down. And these are the people that are relying on ransom to actually make a living at attacking websites.
Wow. Okay. Got it. And now we've heard last year a lot about IoT devices and their role in attacks. What exactly do you think is going on here, in your opinion?
Well, there's a number of devices out there, anything ranging from what we call a nanny cam, a closed circuit TV camera, VCRs,
a fridge,
a refrigerator. These devices have come out with internet-connected capabilities, and they're notoriously lax on security. There are even home routers that have very easy-to-guess default passwords. So these professional DDoS attackers, or what we call bot herders, have created software that goes out and actually hijacks these devices. It guesses the passwords and it installs malware on a camera or a VCR so that it can. These professional bot herders actually go out and find these devices that are vulnerable and install malware on them and turn these Internet of Thing devices into DDoS attack bots. So they really literally round up tens of thousands of these devices, install the malware on them, and then direct the attacks to specific websites using these Internet of Things devices. So that's what's going on.
Okay, got it. And now, where would you say that the attacks typically come from?
So we do a quarterly DDoS research report where we track all of the trends that we see. And in the last quarter, we see a lot of attacks, both in terms of the number of devices that are being used to attack, as well as the number of attacks are originating from is China. China, Turkey, the U.S., Vietnam, and India seem to be the top attacking countries right now, but that changes on a quarterly basis. We've seen attacks come from Brazil. We've seen attacks come from Russia. So they really come from all over the world. And that really is the strategy of the attacker, to spread out their attack resources so that nobody can trace them.
Okay, that makes sense. And now, who would you say typically gets attacked the most?
Well, like I said, attackers tend to follow the money.
Yeah.
And if you rely heavily on your website for making revenue, you're going to be vulnerable. So what we see are gambling, gaming, e-commerce, financial services, and retail probably represent 80% of the sites that are attacked. And interestingly enough, when I said attackers follow the money, what we've seen recently is a rise in attacks on Bitcoin exchanges. Now, Bitcoin is probably a much, much, much smaller segment than, let's say, the e-commerce and retail proportion.
True.
But they get attacked disproportionately. And we've heard from Bitcoin exchange owners, and we've seen in the press, that they believe that the DDoS attackers are attacking them to try to potentially manipulate the price of Bitcoin. So like I said, attackers follow the money.
Okay, makes sense, yeah. And then, in your opinion, what do you think is going to happen in 2018 and the years to come?
Well, what we've seen over the years is that attackers are constantly changing their tactics. So as you decide to invest in a DDoS solution, you need to find one that is going to stay ahead of the attackers, that can anticipate their moves, that can see what they're doing and predict what they're going to be doing in the future. So we've seen a huge shift in DDoS attacks from volumetric type attacks to packet-based attacks that are designed to bring down entire infrastructure like routers and switches and servers. So got to stay on top of that, which our service is very good at doing.
Nice. Okay, wonderful. And lastly, are there any last things that you'd like to highlight about the company?
Well, like with all of our solutions, we spend a lot of time and energy and research and development in tuning our solutions to meet the emerging needs in the market. And particularly with DDoS, like I said earlier, we're constantly watching the attack landscape and developing new solutions to thwart the attackers. It's like a cat and mouse game.
Yes.
We're staying one step ahead of the attackers. And I urge your listeners to take a look at the solutions out there and consider Imperva.
There you go. You heard it. Thank you so much for sitting down and speaking with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And that's all the time that we have for today. So be sure to tune in next time for another episode of Access Point. Also, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook so you don't miss out on any of the latest cybersecurity news. This episode is brought to you by Pentester Academy, the leader in online cybersecurity education. Join over 10,000 professionals from 90 countries to learn security online. Also brought to you by Hacker Arsenal, artillery for cyber warriors. Visit us on hackerarsenal.com to check out our latest attack defense gadgets. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.